Hey everyone, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. So we all love RVing, right? I'm assuming you're watching this video because you're an RVer or you want to be an RVer or you dream about RVing. And for a lot of RVers, the ultimate is full-time RVing. And we were there also. We wanted to full-time RV. We had our mind made up, but then reality hit.
Right, so in this video, we're gonna share 8 reasons with you why we decided full-time RVing is not for us and why a lot of RVers are quitting full-time RVing as we speak.
Okay, so for the first one is going to be medical. And what do we mean by medical? So when you are established at a home base, you have, your doctors, the people that you see normally, whether it's for your eyes, your normal checkups, especially as you get older, it kind of becomes part of your life, right? I mean, that's just, things happen.
Right. If you watched our channel about a year ago, I had a medical scare that put me in the hospital for 6 days. We also have a lot of good friends in the RVing community that have had issues and they're on their RV. And I know for me, being in the hospital and then coming home, I know for me, it would have been very difficult trying to get all my needs met and everything on an RV. Having
a home base to go back to, you have stability, right? If you're out on the road and you don't have a home address and you don't have like primary medical where you're going, that can be a real issue if you're on the road. Some people, it doesn't matter, but for us, that's kind of a big deal. We want to thank the official sponsor of this video, RV Snap Pad. Now, this is one of our favorite accessories that we've put on our motorhome since we got her. It's like 4 years now that we've had her, and they're still going. Whether you have a trailer, fifth wheel, motorhome, even a truck camper, RV Snap Pad has you covered.
So RV Snap Pads is the world's only permanent jack pad. They were made to snap onto your levelers or stabilizers and stay there for good. So the benefits of RV Snap Pads: you're going to have permanent jack pads installed at all times. It's increased stability for each landing foot. There's added protection for jack feet from bending or damage, reduced slipping or sinking on soft surfaces. That's a big one. I like that. And protection from indirect lightning strikes.
Now, the other thing we love, they're made in the USA, I think you might have mentioned that, but they support first responders, military. Always give them a discount. However, if you don't fall into that category, you can use the discount code ENDLESS10 and you will get a 10% discount. We will put all their information below, the link to purchase your RV Snap Pads below. Go check them out. One of our favorite accessories. They've lived up to the test of time, RV Snap Pad.
Now, number 2, this is something we've actually mentioned. I think people know this about us. We like our space. Not only space, but privacy, right? So our home, we live in a very wooded area at home, and it's quiet and it's private, and we like that.
Yeah, and I know for myself speaking, if we go out, especially all of us, the 3 of us and the 2 dogs, after 4 or 5, I'm tapped out. It's too much. There's too much going on, too much energy in a tight space. I need some space. Some people, it doesn't bother. But I know for us, like, that's a big one. Even if we had like a giant fifth wheel, I still think we would need some space.
Yeah, because we all like our alone time. Like, we love being together, but I like my alone time. Izzy likes his alone time. So definitely having a house is definitely a perk for us. Number 3, this is an important one, and we've seen friends of ours in the RV community have had to deal with this. If you have a problem with your RV and it's out of service, you're out of your home, so people have to go stay in hotels, and that gets pricey too. So you're kind of out of luck when you need repairs.
How about if you crash your RV?
That too.
Or a tree falls on your RV? Any of these like crazy things that you think might not happen, but they do happen. RVs are not built like homes. They take a lot longer to repair than homes do, and it's a lot harder to find people to repair them. So if that is your permanent residence and you don't have really anywhere else to go, you may be in a hotel for a while, and then it starts getting really expensive.
Right. Up till this point, the few that we've mentioned, put in the comments below if any of these apply to you so far.
So the 4th thing is going to be cost. Now, some people think that RVing can be inexpensive, and it can be. It all depends on how you RV. So if you're a minimalist and you try to live off the grid a lot, you could probably save money. We're not really like that. We do like our hookups. We do like our room. So that kind of eliminates, being in a small trailer. And RVing has gotten expensive. Even in the last 5 years that we've been RVing, the prices have gone up. Price of fuel, price of RVs, price of trucks to tow them, price of food, price of places to stay. It has gone up. Depending on what part of the country you are at or where you're RVing to, it can actually be equivalent or even more expensive than owning your own property.
Number 5 is going to be an investment. So as we know, RVs are just a depreciating asset. Now, the last couple of years, it's, you know,
most.
Yeah, I mean, some people were getting more than they paid, but that's really not the case in most times. So having a home, it is appreciating, and we are building
Equity.
Thank you. Building equity in our home. So down the line, we know this is in most cases, unless, you know, the market crashes or the economy crashes.
Comes back.
It does. It always comes back. So it's
Yeah.
nice to know that you have that little nest egg.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's been a homeowner that watches this, if you keep a home long enough, it appreciates. If you rot it out, you know, through the years up and down. So yeah, it's a real asset. You know, you can take loans against your home. You can pull out. You can't really do that
No.
on an RV. So yeah, if something crazy comes up and you need cash, you have a home. You know, you have access to cash.
So number 6 is unpredictability. Now, just about 2 years ago from the making of this video, which is March of 2022, we were hit with a pandemic. Now, COVID kind of hit us out of nowhere. Full-time RVers had a really hard time. We actually had one of our friends who was a full-time RVer. We told him
He's no longer
not
anymore.
Yeah, we told him you can stay in our driveway because he was getting kicked out of a campground. So many people at that time were scrambling to find a place to stay. That's really, really scary to us. So having that home base, knowing you can always come back to that sticks and bricks, or even just having an RV pad somewhere that you know that you'll be able to land, God forbid something happens like it did 2 years ago, that's really important to us. So number 7 is our favorite thing, Not
really, yeah. It's going to be crowded campgrounds. And again, it depends on the part of the country where you are at. However, I mean, it's kind of across the board. People that are RVing, there is a lot more RVers on the road with a lot less space to go. Even like the BLM lands, like people, that was their refuge to go. They're kind of like complaining that a lot of people are using it up. Even like the Walmarts and the Cracker Barrels, places people could stay, a lot of times they're not now. You know, you wind up having to plan trips out more. It becomes like a job. You don't have that spontaneous, like, oh, we're just gonna go out here, we're gonna go there.
How many times we were sitting together on the phone, one's on the computer, if he was, you know, in another place, and we're trying to decide, oh, check this place, and how many places were booked, that literally for Memorial Day this year, almost everything was booked. We found one place, like kind of a local place, that we were able to book. It was insane. Yeah.
So I guess a little bit of frustration because the RV, you want that adventure, right? You want to just kind of go out, but sometimes that's not a reality. Maybe the tide will change. Maybe.
I was just going to say in the comments below, do you think this is starting to change? Again, I think it is. We've seen things that are happening. So maybe campgrounds will start to open up, but it certainly hasn't been the case recently. And the last one, really important one, number 8, is family.
Family, yes.
And friends, I should say, because a lot of my friends are just like my family.
Yeah, some of your family and friends, and this may often be the case, they don't want to hang out with you in your RV for a long time. They might come visit you and they're like, no, I want to go back home. I don't want to be kind of in the middle of nowhere crapping in a toilet that goes into a holding tank, right? So yeah, I mean, this becomes an important thing, especially like grandkids. You know, we've read a lot of people that have sold their RVs and they buy a home close to their kids because they want to be around their grandkids. And, you know, who knows? That might affect us. I don't know. But yeah, that's a big reason. With all that being said, we plan on being most time RVers. That's like 6-7 months on the road. I have 40 months left before I can retire.
We should start a countdown on this channel.
I'll be updating this every month. But yeah, I have 39 months left. But once that happens, we are going to be on the road a lot.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the balance of both, right? You have the security of a home place, and we could downsize a lot, but then we could be on the road a lot.
Right. So if you're a full-time RVer, put in the comments below, how are you managing with everything that we talked about? We're really interested. And also, if you're not a full-time RVer, but you're considering full-time RVing, do any of these things concern you?
You missed one, though. Right. How about if you were a full-time RVer and then you're like,
stopped? Right.
We want to know the reasons why. Put that in the comments below. And to the left of us, we have very informative videos, RV DIYs, RV newbie playlists. We're going to put those all over on the left. And then for myself and MJ, we thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the road.